In the summer of 1964, the United States stood at a crossroads. The Cold War was intensifying, and Southeast Asia had become a flashpoint for ideological conflict. Then came a report from the Gulf of Tonkin, a naval skirmish that would change history. What appeared to be a straightforward act of aggression by North Vietnam turned out to be a murky, possibly fabricated event. The Gulf of Tonkin Incident became the catalyst for full-scale U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, costing millions of lives and sowing seeds of distrust that still echo today. The events: 2 nights, 1 war. August 2nd, 1964. The first encounter. The USS Maddox, a U.S. Navy destroyer, was conducting a signals intelligence mission off the coast of North Vietnam. It was reportedly approached and fired upon by 3 North Vietnamese torpedo boats. The Maddox returned fire, aided by aircraft from the USS Ticonderoga. Damage was minimal, and the ship remained operational. This incident, while real, was already controversial. The Maddox was operating close to North Vietnamese waters during a sensitive time, and its presence was provocative. Still, it was the second reported attack that truly ignited the flames of war. August 4th, 1964, the Phantom attack. 2 days later, the Maddox and the USS Turner Joy reported a second attack. Radar blips, sonar echoes, and panicked communications suggested incoming torpedoes. The ships fired into the dark sea for hours, but later analysis and testimony from crew members suggested there were no enemy boats, no wreckage, no confirmed hits, just shadows and static. The conspiracy, manufactured consent, the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. Within 48 hours of the second alleged attack, President Lyndon B. Johnson addressed the nation. He portrayed the incident as unprovoked aggression. Congress responded swiftly, passing the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution on August 7, 1964. This gave Johnson broad authority to use military force in Vietnam without a formal declaration of war. Years later, declassified documents and tapes revealed troubling details. Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara misrepresented the events to Congress, omitting doubts about the second attack. Naval logs and crew testimonies contradicted the official narrative. Many sailors believed the second attack never happened. National Security Agency (NSA) reports, released in 2005, confirmed that intelligence was misread and that the second attack was likely imaginary. Why would the U.S. government exaggerate or fabricate such an incident? Cold War paranoia. The fear of communist expansion in Southeast Asia was intense. Vietnam was seen as a domino that must not fall. Political timing. Johnson was heading into an election and needed to appear strong on national security. Strategic escalation. The incident provided a clean justification for war, bypassing the messy debates of Congress and public opinion. Legacy and impact. The Gulf of Tonkin incident led to the deployment of over 500,000 U.S. troops in Vietnam, a war that lasted over a decade, resulting in more than 58,000 American deaths and millions of Vietnamese casualties. A credibility crisis. The incident became a symbol of government deception, fueling anti-war protests and public skepticism. The Gulf of Tonkin incident reminds us that wars are not always born from truth. Sometimes they emerge from shadows, misread signals, political ambition, and the silence of those who knew better. It is a story not just of a war, but of how easily truth can be bent to serve power.